Receive this in the quiet, where you can finally hear me. I do not come to you with thunder to force your heart, but I reach you like the first light of dawn upon a window, soft, certain enough to reveal what the dark was hiding. My child, stop. That hurry inside your chest is not my voice. That rushing drum that insists you must decide this hour or be lost forever is not the cadence of my peace. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart, because there are truths I am speaking that cannot be grasped while you are running. They must be welcomed while you are seated with me. You feel the pressure to decide quickly, to prove you are capable, to secure your future before the door closes, to silence the whisper that says you are behind. Yet I am not the one pressing your back and stealing your breath. Not every open door is provision. Not every deadline is destiny. Not every loud offer is a calling. Some of what is urgent around you is the noise of a crowded world, not the leading of my spirit within you. Hear me clearly. If you feel rushed to decide, pause. Pressure is not the language of my peace. As it is written, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives, do I give to you. John 14:27. The world gives urgency and threat. I give clarity that does not crush you. Breathe now. Loosen your grip on the future you are trying to hold in your own strength. Let your shoulders fall and your thoughts settle like snow in still water until, in the clearing, you can finally see. You do not need to answer every voice that demands a reply. You do not need to carry the weight of outcomes alone. Sit with me. Listen. Remain. I am nearer than the rush, and I am not in the panic. As it is written, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. This stillness is not delay for delay's sake. It is the room where truth stands up and introduces itself by name. It is not passivity, but holy attention. Let shame fall away. Let fear unclench its hands. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am not pointing at your uncertainty to expose you. I am naming it to comfort you. Your uncertainty is not evidence of failure. Often it is evidence that I am near, touching the reins of your heart, so you do not stampede into what will consume you. My child, I have never left you, not in the interviews, not in the quiet nights, not in the questions that wake you at 3 a.m. I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. One obedient step in the right way is more precious than 1,000 hurried strides into nowhere. Do you notice how the pressure speaks? It sets countdown clocks. It screams of scarcity. It flatters your ego and threatens your security. It says you must seize this or you will be forgotten. Do you notice how my voice moves? It invites you to breathe. It gives you room to ask questions. It honors how I have formed you. It steadies your heart even when details are not yet clear. My restraint is not a wall against your future. It is a hand upon your shoulder turning you gently toward a better way. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. My guidance watches you with love. It does not shove you with dread. There are moments when doors close quietly without spectacle, when opportunities that seemed luminous dim with a simple no, when an email goes unanswered, when a conversation stalls, when the inner restlessness does not relent despite the offer's promise. Do not despise these hushes. Do you see? A quiet closed door can be my loudest protection. Not every now is my now. Not every path that sparkles is safe. There are forks where speed is your enemy and stillness is your rescue. As it is written, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Return to me in the pause, and you will find that what felt like delay is shelter. Begin here with me. Unclutter your inner room. Let the voices of comparison, the need for applause, the dread of being overlooked, the fear of missing out all sit outside the door for a while. Come into the space where I can search you and show you what is moving you beneath the surface, because what propels you matters as much as where you are going. I will show you the signals of the Holy Spirit, subtle stirrings in your conscience, an uneasiness without clear explanation, a pause that compels you to stop, not to paralyze you, but to preserve you. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. Let my light slow you down long enough to see the path, not assume it. I will lead you through a discernment inventory, step by step, so you can recognize my restraint, my light, and my timing. We will look together at the motives that are being fed, the rest that is missing, the peace that is present or absent, the doors that close without drama, the storms that rise as mercy when you run ahead of me. You will learn to separate the shout of opportunity from the whisper of calling. You will learn to feel the difference between adrenaline and anointing. As it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. I am faithful to show you the way, and I am faithful to keep you from ways that wound you. For now, this is enough. Do not decide under duress. Discern under my wing. If your chest is tight, loosen your grip. If your mind is racing, invite me into the race, and watch how I change its pace. If your pride is loud, let humility answer the door first. If your fear is painting pictures of loss, let my promises repaint your horizon. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding, and he will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. I am not late, and you are not behind when you are with me. Stop, my beloved, return to stillness. Let me speak before you move. Let me bless you with restraint before I release you with peace. My yes will come without crushing you. My no will guard you without shaming you. My wait will form you without wasting you. I will guide you, and I will keep you. Now breathe and remain with me long enough to listen more clearly. My child, come closer and notice what stirs beneath your thoughts when you consider this move. Here is the first signal I have been placing within you, subtle enough to ignore if you are busy, clear enough to guide you if you are still. An unexplainable uneasiness, the kind that settles over your nights like a thin film, so that sleep arrives but does not restore. A restless turning at 2 a.m., then again at 4, a mind awake though exhausted. A dullness where excitement should be, as if the color drains from your vision the moment you picture yourself saying yes. There is a tightening in your spirit when you imagine committing, a breath that catches, a smile that only appears when you talk about the offer to others but fades when you are alone with me. Do you recognize it? It is not melodramatic, it is not a crisis, it is not a siren. It is the quiet pressure of my hand upon your shoulder, holy restraint disguised as discomfort, inviting you to pause. Do not call this condemnation. Do not label it weakness or faithlessness. This is not anxiety to obey. It is caution to honor. This is not punishment. It is protection. My restraining embrace before you step too far and are carried by currents that will not care for your soul. I am not shaming you for wanting progress. I am shepherding you toward life. I see what you do not see yet, the culture beneath the glossy description, the weight that will land upon your family, the subtle compromise that appears harmless at first, the dryness that creeps into your spirit when praise from people replaces the joy of obedience. I intervene early so that you are not carried too far away. As it is written, the Lord disciplines those he loves. Proverbs 3:12. Discipline here is not a strike. it is a steering. Hear the difference in how I lead you. I do not guide you by panic, but by clarity, not by confusion, but by confirmation, not by haste, but by wisdom. The pressure that shouts, "Decide now or be forgotten," does not originate in my heart. The counsel that settles you, even while details remain unfinished, is the sign that I am near. When the unease lingers after you have silenced every external voice, listen. When you push yourself to craft elaborate rationalizations, to drown out that steady reluctance, listen. When you are lighter after you postpone the call and heavier the moment you draft the acceptance, do you see what your spirit is telling you? My voice bears witness with your spirit. Your spirit resists being hurried because I have written my pace into your being. Ask yourself plainly in my presence, do you notice that when you give yourself permission to wait, your shoulders lower and your breath deepens, but when you fix a yes to please a timeline, your chest tightens as if you are bracing for impact? Do you see how you need to keep rehearsing the same selling points in your mind to convince yourself you are at peace? Do you notice how the idea glows only when others applaud it, but dims when silence falls, and it is just you and me? Do you feel how your joy thins when you imagine week after week within that role, not a weekend highlight reel, but the daily cadence of its demands? These are not trivial moods. They are instruments on which I am playing a protective melody. Pause, listen, remain long enough to hear the whole song. Remember, light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. I am shining light not to embarrass you, but to show you where a splinter rests beneath the skin. You can pretend it is not there and move faster for a time, but friction will find you. The tenderness you feel when you brush that spot is my mercy saying, slow, remove what is hidden before you run. I do not come with thunder to shame you, but like dawn I uncover what the night concealed. There are forms of mercy that do not appear gentle on the surface, but when you let them do their work, you are spared a deeper wound. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. Let my lamp keep you from stumbling, even if it asks you to walk more slowly. This unease is not the enemy of your future. It is the guardian of your calling. It asks questions that ambition forgets to ask. What will this feed in you, humility or hunger for applause? Will it expand your capacity to love or only your capacity to accumulate? Will it keep you present to me and to those entrusted to you? Or will it scatter you into rooms where your name is known, but your soul is thin? Do not rush past these questions. I am not measuring you by speed, but by direction. One quiet no in alignment with me is more fruitful than a hurried yes that extracts you from your roots. I know you fear missing your moment. I know you feel the sting of being overlooked, the itch to prove you can do this, the hope that this one leap will finally silence the old doubt. But I did not design you to make vows at the altar of pressure. I designed you to move with me. When you submit to my restraint, you are not losing time. You are being placed in time, precisely and safely. As it is written, in quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Strength is not in the frantic grabbing, but in the rested choosing born from trust. Consider the fruit your unease is already bearing. Because you feel it, you are praying more honestly. You are asking counsel. You are searching the motives that have remained unexamined. You are remembering that I am your source, not a title. Do you see how mercy is working? The delay is delivering you from a decision that would require constant self-justification to maintain. The discomfort is delivering you from the heaviness of regret. This is not me keeping good from you. This is me keeping you for the good I have prepared for you. As it is written, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds. Philippians 4:7. Peace is a guard. Unease is the tap on the shoulder that tells you the guard has stepped away from that door. If you ask me, I will make this even clearer. Bring the offer into the light of prayer without performance. Sit with pen and paper and write what you feel without editing. Where does your spirit constrict? Where does it open? Give yourself one more night and ask, when I wake, is there a gentle settling or does the heaviness remain? Speak it aloud. Father, if this is not from you, close it cleanly. If it is from you, confirm it with peace. Do not bargain. Do not manipulate. Simply invite me to be myself to you, faithful guide, loving Father, wise counselor. Then watch how I shepherd you, sometimes by removing the pressure around you, sometimes by strengthening the restraint within you. This is not abandonment. My child, I have never left you, not for a single moment, and I am not indifferent to your future. I am invested in who you become as much as in where you go. Receive my hand even when it slows you. Trust my eye even when it asks you to look again. I promise you, I am not leading you in circles. I am leading you in safety. When it is time to move, you will not need to bully yourself into obedience. My yes will carry clarity without crushing you, and you will find your steps steadied by a peace that does not require applause to remain. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. Psalm 32:8. Remain in this restraint until my counsel ripens into peace, and you will discover that what felt like delay was, in truth, your deliverance. My child, now come with me into the room where your hearing becomes clear. You have felt my hand restrain you. Now let me teach you how to listen. You cannot hear me cleanly when your soul is swept away by a river of voices, opinions that crowd your mind, timelines that threaten your worth, comparisons that measure you against shadows, fears that press your breath thin. When everything in you is sprinting to keep up with what others expect, you will confuse the volume of the world with the voice of your Father. I do not shout over the noise to win a contest with it. I invite you to step outside the noise so that I do not need to shout. I do not come to you with thunder in these matters, but like the first light of dawn that enters a room and, without a sound, reveals what was already there. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. The lamp does not explode, it makes steady light. Do you see? Stillness is not delay. It is the place where my clarity rises. When the waters of your heart are churned, even a faithful lamp will fracture into 1,000 scattered shards upon the surface. But when the waters settle, the light forms a single true line you can walk. This is the practice. Allow your inner waters to settle. Let the decision stop being a race you must win and become a conversation you are free to have with me. I am not testing you to see if you can guess correctly under pressure. I am fathering you into a way of living that does not trade your peace for speed. Begin simply. Choose a quiet place, not perfect, simply honest. Lay your phone face down, outside arm's reach. Sit in a chair that reminds your body you are not going anywhere for a few minutes. Unclench your jaw. Lower your shoulders. Breathe in as if receiving me. Breathe out as if releasing outcomes. Whisper, even if only within, Father, here I am. I need you. I open the door. This is not performance. This is presence. Stay long enough to feel the first restlessness surface, the urge to check something, to rehearse arguments, to solve, and do not obey it. That is the noise announcing itself. Watch it pass. Pause. Listen. Remain. Return. These 4 movements are the anchor I am giving you. Now invite the voices to step back. Name them in my presence, not to fight them, but to separate them from my counsel. Say, this is the timeline that is scaring me. This is the opinion I am trying to please. This is the comparison that accuses me. This is the fear of being behind. Place each, like stones, outside the doorway of your inner room and close the door. You can pick them up again if you wish, but for now they will not be permitted to sit in my chair. I am here. Let the room be ours. Bring the opportunity to me without salesmanship. Tell me the truth of what you love about it and the truth of what unsettles you. Tell me if part of you wants to say yes because you hope the title will heal an old humiliation. Tell me if you feel small when you imagine saying no. I cannot bless the mask you wear. I will bless the child who speaks plainly. Remember, this is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am not tallying your fears against you. I am welcoming them so they no longer rule you from the dark. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. Then ask me for one thing. Show me your peace in this. Do not demand a full map. Ask for the lamp to the next step. Ask not for a thunderbolt, but for the dawning that grows brighter. Stay beyond the first minute of quiet, for the first minute is where your mind throws its loudest stones. Stay into the second, where the surface begins to smooth. Stay into the third, where breath becomes prayer without words. Pause. Listen. Remain. Return. When your attention drifts, do not scold yourself. Return. When a new fear presents a compelling argument, do not debate it. Return. When your body insists you stand and do something, do not stand. Remain. When shame tries to narrate your delay as failure, let me answer. This is not failure. This is formation. I will meet you in subtleties you cannot manufacture. A softening in your chest where it was clenched. A sense that time has weight again and is not slipping through your grasp. A phrase from Scripture surfacing with unusual brightness. A memory I bring to mind that reframes your desire. I may cause a name to arise, someone to call for counsel, not to outsource discernment, but to confirm what I am already whispering. I may give you a small, clear action. Ask for more time, request to shadow the team for a day, pose the question you have avoided, decline an aspect rather than the whole. My direction bears peace even in difficult choices. My peace steadies, it does not bully. As it is written, you will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Isaiah 26:3. Do not confuse silence with absence. When I am quiet, I am not far. I am inviting your roots deeper, like Samuel learning to say, "Speak, for your servant is listening." You are being trained to recognize me without spectacle. As it is written, I was not in the wind, nor the earthquake, nor the fire, and after the fire a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:12. My whisper is not weakness, it is intimacy. I whisper because your ear is near. Practice this daily for a little while, even when no decision looms, especially when no decision looms, so that when choices arise, stillness is not a foreign country, but your home. 5 minutes, then 10, then 15, where the inner room becomes familiar. Write what surfaces without editing, the scriptures, the impressions, the questions, the names. Not to trap yourself in analysis, but to honor the conversation we are having. When you return to the noise, you will carry a different center. Its winds will not claim you so easily. If, after stillness, the unease remains and the peace does not come, do not force a yes to rescue your image. Ask me for the courage to wait without self-contempt. Ask me to close doors cleanly where I will, and I will. If after stillness you sense a gentle alignment, no fireworks, simply a quiet readiness that does not need flattery to continue, take the small next step I have given. You do not need to outrun uncertainty. You need to walk in the direction of my peace. One step is enough for today. Remember this pattern whenever the river rises around you. Pause, listen, remain, return, pause the arguments, listen beneath the noise, Remain past the first discomfort. Return each time you drift. This is not avoidance. This is obedience to the pace of love. As it is written, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Strength grows in the room where you are not posturing, not performing, simply present. My beloved, I am not trying to slow your life into dormancy. I am rescuing you from a speed that would fracture you. I am not asking you to love passivity. I am teaching you to love clarity. Stillness is where your ears unclench. It is where the lamp steadies. It is where the dawn shows you which way the path actually runs. Stay with me here, and you will discover that the time you thought you were losing was the life you were gaining. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye upon you. Let this room be your refuge and your practice. Enter it today. Return to it tomorrow. And as you do, watch how my peace becomes audible, how restraint becomes guidance, and how your steps, once frantic, learn the rhythm of the one who keeps you. My child, now that your breathing has slowed and the water has begun to clear, listen to me about the pace that tries to own you. I see the hidden driver beneath your hurry, the quiet vow you made that if you move quickly enough, you will be safe. If you say yes fast enough, you will be respected. If you fill your calendar densely enough, you will be secure. You feel that if you pause, you will be passed. If you wait, you will be weighed and found wanting. But hear me. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. I am not asking you to outrun anything. I am asking you to walk with me. The world will hand you clocks and call them crowns. It will praise your availability more than your alignment. It will flatter your pace and ignore your path. Pressure will try to baptize you in false urgency, whispering, faster is wiser, faster is safer, faster is stronger. But I did not design your soul to be a motor that proves its worth by RPM. I designed you as a child who thrives by remaining oriented to my voice. One step in the right direction with me is more precious than 1,000 steps taken to impress a room that does not carry your name in its heart. Do you see? Let me disarm the comparison that fuels your sprint. Another person's timeline is not your assignment. Their open doors are not your confirmation. What ripens in your neighbor's field is not a verdict against your soil. I have written different seasons for different seeds. Wheat rises swiftly, oaks take time. Would you demand an oak grow at the pace of grain and then criticize its slowness while forgetting the centuries it will shelter? You look at their announcements and feel late. I look at you and see roots deepening to hold a future you cannot yet imagine. As it is written, what is that to you? You follow me. John 21:22. Follow me, not the feed. Follow my peace, not their pace. Now consider the performance you have quietly turned into a religion. You have been trying to earn peace through productivity, to purchase rest with results, to silence old insecurity with new titles. You tell yourself that the next roll will end the ache, the next raise will still the tremor, the next applause will finally hush the ancient doubt. But performance cannot pastor your soul. Metrics cannot adopt you. Promotions cannot absolve you. When you build an altar to output, you must feed it daily or it accuses you of sloth. When you kneel to titles, you must keep achieving them or they abandon you in the night. I am not scolding you, I am freeing you. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am inviting you to leave the treadmill that calls itself destiny and to walk the path that calls itself obedience. Listen to how my kingdom measures, not how fast, but how faithful, not how loud, but how aligned, not how many, but how true. I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. When you walk in the direction of my peace, you will discover you are no longer reacting to the world. You are responding to me. As it is written, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Peace is not a decoration on your decision. It is the umpire that calls what is safe and what is out. Surrender then the vow to make it happen in your own strength. Lay down the private commandment that says, "Thou shalt never be behind." Bring me the impulse to prove, and let me hold it until it no longer commands you. Say to me now, even in a whisper, "Father, I renounce the rush to be seen. I choose to be led, not pushed. Align my steps to your peace. Set my pace to your heart." Do you feel how your breath deepens when you release the whip you held over yourself? Do you notice the permission rising within you to ask for time, to pose better questions, to resist flattery? This is what it means to be shepherded rather than branded. As it is written, He leads me in paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Psalm 23:3. Lead, not drive. Paths, not platforms. Righteousness, not restlessness. And know this, your Father is not improvising your future in panic. I am not pacing the halls of heaven wondering how to catch you up. I know where I am taking you, and I know how to keep you as I lead you there. As it is written, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. A future, not a frenzy. A hope, not a countdown. When you trust that I know, you can afford to move at the speed of wisdom rather than the speed of worry. Here is a small practice for this hour. When the offer or the pressure rises, ask, "What direction does this move my soul?" Not, "How fast will this advance my standing?" but, "Does this step take me deeper into peace, clarity, and love? Or does it drive me into performance, pretense, and fragmentation?" If your body tightens and your spirit rushes to rehearse justifications, pause. If your shoulders lower and a sober steadiness holds you even with hard implications, take the next small step. You do not need to outrun fear. You need to walk in the direction of my peace. Fear will shout from the sidelines. Let peace call the plays. Say no to the mythology that late is lethal. Say no to the narrative that says significance is a sprint. Say yes to a life you can actually live with me. One where mornings are not all theft, where evenings do not collapse into numbness, where your laughter returns and your heart remembers how to listen. I am not against your momentum. I am against what devours you as you chase it. I do not come with thunder to corner you, but I reach you like dawn to reorient you before the day begins. So pause again. Place the offer, the timeline, the comparison at my feet. Ask for courage to be led, not pushed. Ask me to confirm with peace or to restrain with clarity. Ask me for the grace to accept a slower path that keeps your soul alive. I will not withhold myself from you. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye upon you. Walk with me now, not fast, but true. And as you do, watch how the fear that demanded a sprint loses its authority, while peace, quiet, steady, faithful, becomes the rhythm of your life. My child, place this opportunity on the table between us, not as an idol to be praised, nor as an enemy to be feared, but as an object to be examined in the light. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. We are not asking only, "Is it a good job?" We are asking, "What is it awakening in you?" When you hold it in your hands, does it kindle peace or does it kindle striving? Does it deepen gratitude or does it stir greed? Does it bow your heart into humility or does it inflate pride that seeks a stage? Do you see? This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. I am not accusing your desire to build or to excel. I am teaching you to discern what is feeding your soul beneath the surface of your reasons. Let us begin with the simplest and most searching questions. If no one knew you accepted this, would you still want it? If the title were hidden and only the work remained, would your joy remain? If the pay were the same as you have now, would your spirit still lean forward? If the applause were removed and anonymity assigned to the labor, would you continue with gladness? Answers you whisper here are worth more than speeches you make to others. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. As it is written, "Behold, you delight in truth in the inward being." Psalm 51:6. I delight to meet you in the truth of your inward parts. Now, ask with me, do you want this because it aligns with the calling I have been forming in you, or because you want to prove something to someone who once wounded you? Name the person if you can, an old supervisor who belittled you, a parent who measured love by achievement, a peer whose rapid ascent made you feel small. Do you sense the heat rise in your chest when you picture showing them you made it? That heat is not peace. It is an altar demanding sacrifice. I am not shaming you for the wound. I am healing it so it does not choose for you. Vengeance often disguises itself as excellence. I will not let that mask govern your steps. Ask also about escape. Are you reaching for this because it is a door into destiny, or because it is a door away from discomfort? Are you fleeing a hard conversation, a growing edge, a place where patience is forming you? I know the ache of slow seasons. I know the fatigue of being overlooked. But if you use a new role to outrun formation, the unfinished work will follow you with new costumes. The room you refuse to clean will be the room you unpack in later. Delay that is avoidance will not deliver you. It will multiply what you postponed. Do you see? This is not punishment but protection, my restraining embrace so that you do not cement a temporary pain into a permanent path. Look at hunger. Is there a fear of lack whispering through your decisions, a scarcity story that says, take it now or be stranded later? Scarcity speaks with urgency, but it cannot shepherd you. When fear of lack holds the pen, it writes contracts your soul cannot honor without fragmentation. I am your provider, not rush, not reputation, not the imagined collapse that keeps you bargaining in the night. As it is written, I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind. Jeremiah 17:10. I am searching not to condemn you, but to untangle you from rulers that are not me. Examine validation. Do you crave to be seen, to be finally named critical, necessary, essential? There is a pure desire to be useful, and there is a quieter craving to be central. One roots you in service, the other drifts you toward spectacle. Ask me to separate them. If being unseen in the right place offends you more than being celebrated in the wrong place seduces you, pause. Let me reorder your loves. You are my beloved, you are seen. Titles cannot adopt you. Promotions cannot absolve you. I see you where you stand. I know the plans I have for you. You do not need to build a tower to be visible to me. Consider resentment toward your current place. Are you saying yes because you are angry at those who have not recognized you? Resentment is an acid. It erodes discernment. It will cause a door painted opportunity to smell like escape. Resentment promises relief if you move, but it will ride with you and request a seat at every table you reach. Bring this bitterness into the light. Name how you feel. Forgiveness does not mean you call injustice good. It means you refuse to let it dictate your geography. As it is written, walk as children of light and try to discern what is pleasing to the Lord, for anything exposed by the light becomes visible. Ephesians 5:8-13. In light, resentment loses its claim. In darkness, it multiplies. Now let us take an intentional inventory. Write, yes, with your own hand, 3 reasons you feel drawn to accept. For each, ask, is this grounded in love or in fear? Does this reason make me more whole or merely more impressive? Does this attach me to people I can serve or to an image I must defend? Then write 3 reasons you resist. Ask, are these cautions born of wisdom or born of avoidance? Are they signals from my spirit or shadows from old anxieties? Remain long enough to listen more clearly. If you feel a need to edit what you write so that it would sound noble to others, pause, return, and speak it to me without cosmetics. I cannot bless the mask. I bless the child. Search motives of appetite. Greed does not always shout. Sometimes it argues rationally. This is strategic. This is necessary. This is what people in your field do. Greed is not merely more money. It is a restlessness that cannot enjoy sufficiency. It converts gifts into ladders and days into transactions. When this opportunity speaks to that appetite, you will feel urgency without joy, acceleration without anchoring. Gratitude, by contrast, enlarges you without thinning you. It makes you generous even in gain. Ask, if this increases my capacity, does it also increase my capacity to give, to rest, to love? Or does it intend to own those capacities and rent them back to me at a cost? Examine pride. Pride is not only boasting, it is the quiet resistance to dependence. It says, I do not want to ask for help. I want to be the help. Pride refuses smallness. It cannot bear an assignment that does not elevate status. If this role appeals because it finally places you above those you envy, pause. If the thought of starting again, learning again, being mentored again offends you, pause. Pride will lead you to places where you must lie to maintain altitude. Humility will lead you to places where you can breathe. As it is written, God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. I am not opposing you. I am inviting you into the stream where grace runs. Test for service. Ask, who becomes safer if I say yes? Who is loved more specifically, not just in theory? Can I name the faces, the teams, the people I will be able to serve more faithfully? Or is my imagination filled only with my own advancement? Calling has faces. Ambition has audiences. If this step clarifies the faces, it is aligning. If it dissolves them into crowds that adore, be careful. I am a shepherd. I will teach you to love by name. Hold your desires up to light. Desire is not your enemy. Disordered desire is. Bring even your best dreams into my presence and let me reorder them. Nothing kept in darkness remains without shaping you. No darkness is stronger than truth. If there is hesitation you cannot explain, do not bully it. Invite it to speak. If there is excitement you cannot justify, do not automatically trust it. Ask what it promises and what it requires. Light reveals promises and prices. I will not allow you to purchase prominence with the currency of your peace. Now breathe and listen to me. Discovering mixed motives does not disqualify you. It frees you to choose from truth instead of illusion. I am not surprised by anything you find. I am already present in it. This is discipline as mercy, intervention as rescue. I am untying the knots within, so your yes or your no can be clean. I do not measure you by how flawless your motives are today, but by your willingness to bring them into my light and let me lead you. As it is written, above all else guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. Guarding is not hiding, it is attending with me to the wellspring. Finally, pray this with a whole heart, and I will answer you. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. As it is written, search me, O God, and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalm 139:23-24. I am searching to heal, exposing to restore, leading to keep you. Stay in this light. Ask the questions again tomorrow. Speak with a trusted voice that loves me and loves you, not to outsource discernment, but to confirm it. And as your motives become clear, you will feel the ground steady. Peace will either rise to accompany a courageous yes, or restraint will strengthen to carry a faithful no. Either way, you will be kept, because you are choosing in the light of my presence, and my presence is your life. My child, remain with me in this light, and let me teach you to read the language of quiet doors. Not every no arrives with a clang. Often it comes softly, almost polite, an email that never returns, an interview that warms and then cools without explanation, a timeline that shifts again and again until momentum dissolves. A reference who once spoke loudly now answers in brief phrases, a favor you expected that somehow does not materialize. You think, did I fail? Did I miss my moment? Hear me, a quiet closed door can be my loudest protection. I do not always protect you with storms. Sometimes I protect you with the absence of wind. I do not always rescue you by pulling you from the edge at the last second. Sometimes I guide you so you never reach the cliff at all. The silence you interpret as rejection may be redirection. The pause you despise may be the shield you prayed for, when you ask me to keep you from every snare you cannot see. I know where roads lead long before the signposts appear. I know the culture behind the polished description, the cost behind the salary, the drift behind the flattery. I am not withholding opportunity to punish you. I am withholding sorrow you cannot yet measure. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. This is discipline as mercy, intervention as rescue. Consider how distraction operates in bright clothing. An offer can be a detour if it asks you to eject from formation the hour before fruit breaks through if it promises you relief, while it requires you to leave the place where I am knitting your character. A raise can be a chain when it buys your silence, rents your peace, and mortgages your mornings to a story that starves your soul. A dream role can dim your calling if it steals your devotion, if it demands that you kneel before visibility while it slowly subtracts your capacity to love, to listen, to live as a whole person, not with thunder, not with spectacle. I place my hand upon the door and keep it from opening, not to humiliate you before others, but to keep you from being consumed behind it. Do you see? You ask me for clear signs. Often my clearest sign is my peace, or the absence of it. You asked me to lead you not into temptation, so I do, and sometimes the leading looks like nothing happening. The meeting is postponed twice. The decision maker changes. The budget is frozen. Conversation becomes vague. Your own enthusiasm, which once ran hot, begins to cool without bitterness, just a steady loss of compulsion. Do not bully your soul to reignite what I am gently extinguishing. Let it go. If I desired you there, I could part seas and set tables in deserts. I am not short on power. If I am quieting the room, it is because I am guarding you from a noise that would begin softly and end relentlessly. Remember what I taught you in stillness. Pause. Listen. Remain. Return. When the door is closing without drama, do not fling yourself against it to prove you are worthy. Pause. Ask me, what are you sparing me from? Listen for the reframing I bring. Memories I surface of earlier entanglements you escaped, warnings you once ignored that cost you months, patterns that echo here. Remain past the irritation that wants to write angry narratives about those who did not choose you. Return to the truth. You are not measured by who answers your email. You are measured by the direction of your obedience. I can close a door and still be kind. I can restrain you and still be loving. My child, I have never left you. Do not mistake my restraint for your insignificance. When I say no, I am not saying you are small. I am saying this path is too narrow to carry what I am growing in you. Some assignments are excellent for a time, and then they become containers too tight for the root system I am building. Some rooms are lively but airless. You would bloom for a season and then wither. Some platforms are tall but hollow. The higher you climb, the more anxious you must become to keep from hearing the echo inside. I love you too much to let applause swallow you whole. As it is written, see, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. Revelation 3:8. When I open, you will not need to claw. When I close, you will not need to claw either. You will be kept. Look at Paul when he attempted to go to certain regions and found himself hindered, then redirected to a Macedonian call in the night. The Spirit prevented, then the Spirit invited, closed, then open. This was not confusion. It was choreography. I am not improvising. I am moving you in timing with needs you do not yet perceive, with faces you have not yet met. My no guards the alignment that will make my yes pure when it arrives. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. I turn lights on in hallways before you run down them, so you can see the bend you would have missed and the wall you would have struck. Here is what to do when the quiet closing begins. First, bless rather than blame. Speak good of those who did not respond, not as pretense but as a declaration that your life is not held by their calendar. Second, release your self-interrogation to a small and honest scope. Father, is there anything to repent of, to sharpen, to learn? If I show you something, adjust. If I show you nothing, do not invent guilt to fill the silence. Third, ask for the next small obedience I am inviting. Completing work where you are with excellence, refining a skill, reaching out to a mentor for wisdom rather than for lobbying, resting your heart so that resentment does not set like concrete. Fourth, maintain relational honor. Close your end of conversations with clarity, gratitude, and availability if paths cross again. This is how you disarm the lie that you must push to be kept. When you are tempted to chase a retreating opportunity, ask yourself, what script am I trying to silence by forcing this open? Is it the fear that I am behind? The wound that demands I be seen now? The scarcity story that shouts, if not this, then nothing? Bring those scripts to me. I will not let them be your navigators. I will give you a better voice. As it is written, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Let light, not panic, lead you. And if I have closed the door, I have not closed your future. I can redirect favor with a whisper. I can place your name upon the mind of a person you have not met. I can grow you in a hidden field until the day I call you forth. I know the plans I have for you, and they are not precariously balanced on one handle you could not grasp in time. You are my beloved. Your steps are ordered more by my keeping than by your cleverness. Do you see? So rest your hand. Step back from the door that no longer turns. Breathe. Whisper, thank you for protecting me, even from what I wanted. Then turn with me toward the space that remains open now. The relationships I have already entrusted to you, the work that still holds life, the practices of stillness we have begun. I will teach you to recognize the sound of the right door, a peace that steadies, a clarity that does not crush, a timing that does not bully you. Until then, let my quiet no be heard for what it is, a loud, unwavering mercy. I will guide you, and I will keep you. My child, now hear me as I take you from the hallway of quiet doors into the open sea where wind rises without your permission. There are times when the no whispers. There are times when it roars. Both are love. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. Not every storm that meets you is an attack. Sometimes it is my mercy preventing your drift. Do you see? This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I am not speaking to shame you, but to secure you before your feet move too far in a direction that would cost you more than you know how to measure. Consider Jonah. He heard my word with clarity. Go to Nineveh, speak, carry my compassion into a city he did not prefer. The instruction was simple. His reaction was decisive. He rose, he paid the fare, he found a ship with space for him, he slept. Movement looked mature. The calendar had entries, the itinerary was set. The sailors were skilled. The wind at first did not argue, yet he was not obeying, he was fleeing. Do you see how a full schedule can escort disobedience? You can be on a ship and still be running from my voice. You can be congratulated for momentum and still be drifting from alignment. Then the storm came, not to destroy him, but to prevent him from going further down the wrong path. The waves did what his conscience could not do under the blanket of his sleep. They said, "Wake." The crew threw cargo. They prayed to gods that could not answer. They cast lots and found the reluctant prophet hiding beneath. And when he was swallowed, it was not a grave. It was a mercy that kept him from drowning in a sea of his own insistence. This was not blind punishment, but a restraining embrace. As it is written, the Lord disciplines those he loves. Proverbs 3:12. There are forms of mercy that do not appear gentle on the surface. I know how your world praises decisiveness. I know how a fast yes can feel like courage. But hear me, courage without calling is just adrenaline. If you force this move because the deckhands cheer your confidence, you may gain momentum and lose peace. You may gain salary and lose alignment. You may gain applause and lose yourself. You will find yourself counting waves at night, promising you will adjust later, bargaining with the wind, throwing pieces of yourself overboard to keep a course I never sent you on. My child, do not interpret resistance as, I must push harder. Sometimes resistance is me, intervening before pressure becomes prison. How do you recognize a Jonah storm in your own story? Listen for the sequence that repeats. You hear a word inside that asks for surrender, but you bargain. Opportunities appear that allow you to move in the opposite direction with fewer questions. You tell yourself, at least I'm moving, at least I'm not frozen, at least this looks faithful to someone watching. You board. It goes well briefly, then unease begins to hum beneath your successes. Sleep becomes crowded. Small things keep snagging. Emails that misfire, relationships that begin to strain in inexplicable ways, timelines that stretch to the point of fray, an inner throb of misalignment that coffee cannot drown and flattery cannot numb. You double your effort. The sea doubles its reply. You begin to offer cargo to the water, practices that once kept you anchored, attention to those you love, even your honesty with yourself, hoping the ship will lighten and the wind will relent. But the lesson is not in your strength. It is in your surrender. This is where the enemy whispers, see, opposition means you're onto something. Push through. Prove it. But I am telling you, pause. Ask first, Father, is this storm raised against me or raised for me? I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. Not every hard thing is a sign to grind your teeth. Some headwinds are my hands turning your face back to me before you cross a line that will take months to retrace. As it is written, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3:15. Softness to my voice will save you miles. Notice Jonah's solution. He did not invent another networking plan at sea. He did not trade ships. He confessed, I am the reason I am running. He yielded his body to the mercy he could not yet name, and in that yielding he found a strange shelter. He prayed from the belly of what carried him. When my life was fainting away, I remembered the Lord. Salvation belongs to the Lord. Jonah 2:7, 2:9. Hear this and let it steady you. When you return mid-flight, I do not greet you with scorn. I meet you with rescue that reorients you at the core. I do not come with thunder to ruin you, but I reach you like the first light of dawn. In the middle of a storm you could not master, and I say, return, I will keep you. Apply this now to your decision. If every time you try to force the door, the water rises, if every attempt to accelerate invites fresh confusion, if the story you must tell yourself to keep moving is growing more elaborate while your prayer grows thin, stop. Do not go below deck to sleep it off. Do not call the storm jealousy, spiritual warfare, haters, when it is my hand slowing you. I love you too much to flatter your rebellion into competence. I will not compete with the waves for your attention. I will command them to rise until you can hear me again. This is discipline as mercy, intervention as rescue. You ask, what do I do if I am already at sea? Do what Jonah did in truth, even before the fish. Admit where you are and whose voice you are avoiding. Speak to me without cosmetics. Father, I am running. I chose pace over peace, platform over presence, salary over surrender. I repent. Then make the small, dignified corrections that agreement with me requires. Pause the process. Ask for time. Withdraw if you must, with honor and without drama. If stopping the ship is beyond your authority, stop your sprint within it. Halt the lobbying, halt the posturing, halt the compulsive self-justification. I will make a way to deliver you without public spectacle if you will give me your yes in private. And if public course correction is necessary, I will clothe you in grace. I am not interested in your humiliation. I am committed to your healing. There is another mercy in this story you must not miss. The crew was spared because Jonah faced truth. Your honesty will not only spare you, it will protect those traveling with you, your family, your team, those who would have carried the cost of an unaligned detour. This is why I intervene early so that you are not carried too far away. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. When you allow light to search you, storms begin to lose their assignment. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. Lamps do not argue with wind. They reveal steps home. Hear also my assurance. Returning will not erase your calling. It will purify it. Jonah did not lose his assignment. He found its heart. You will not be disqualified by turning back. You will be delivered from what would have thinned you into a version of yourself that could not carry the weight of love I am building into you. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. When you turn, even in the middle of a storm, the sea begins to learn your new name, beloved who listens. As it is written, he makes the storm be still and the waves of the sea are hushed. Psalm 107:29. I am able to quiet what rose to rescue you once its work is complete. So, my child, before you sign what flatters your hurry or force what resists your hand, ask me plainly, is this sea your mercy? If there is a check within you that will not be negotiated away, honor it. If peace does not rise when you release your grip, wait. Do not mistake silence for absence or headwind for hatred. I am near. I am guarding your path from disasters you cannot survey. I am keeping your name from rooms that would cost you your soul to keep it echoing. I am not withholding, I am preserving. As it is written, the Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in him. Nahum 1:7. Return to me now, not with panic, but with a surrendered pace. Whisper, lead me, and mean it. Let me set your direction, even if it means, for a moment, sitting on the shore with nothing but obedience in your hands. That is not emptiness, that is seed. And in due time I will send you, not as one who escaped by accident, but as one kept by mercy. Not every storm is an attack. Some storms are my mercy preventing your drift. Receive this and be at peace. I will guide you and I will keep you. My child, now that you have learned to honor restraint and to read the mercy in a storm, come close and let me teach you the feel of my yes. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. My direction brings a peace that steadies you. It does not bully you. When it is I who am leading, you may feel stretched, but you are not crushed. You may feel humbled, but you are not panicked. Your knees may shake as you step, yet beneath them there is a floor. Do you see? This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. This is the way I guide those I love, firm in truth, gentle in pace, faithful to keep you as you move. Peace is not the same as numbness. Numbness is avoidance dressed as calm. It dulls your questions, silences your conscience, and leaves you blurry around the edges. Peace is alive and awake. It opens your eyes wider while it softens your fear. Numbness disconnects you from consequence. Peace connects you to purpose. Numbness says, whatever, it doesn't matter. Peace says, this matters and you are held. Excitement is not confirmation. Adrenaline can sing loudly for a night and leave you empty by morning. Fearlessness is not always faith. Recklessness can feel like bravery when you are tired of waiting. Faith can tremble and still obey. My peace does not erase emotion, it orders it. As it is written, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. John 14:27. How will you know when my yes draws near? There are signs of alignment that gather like lights along a path. Consistent counsel, when wise voices who know me and know you, apart from each other, speak in the same direction without pressure, without agenda, without flattery. Repeated confirmations when a verse stalks your morning and then meets you in a conversation and then appears again in a song or a sermon, not as manipulation but as a gentle echo. Doors opening in order when steps appear one after another with enough resistance to keep you attentive but not so much chaos that you must become a bully to your own soul to move. Inner steadiness returning when the hum of anxiety that once vibrated is replaced with a low, sure tone that doesn't depend on compliments to remain. Prayer becoming simpler, not frantic, when your words shrink from bargaining to a few honest sentences. Lead me, Father, keep me true. As it is written, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts. Colossians 3:15. Rule. Let it act like a judge, an umpire, a deciding voice when clamor rises. When I speak yes, the fruit resembles the garden where it was born. There is room to breathe. There is grace to repent for what needs adjustment without drowning in shame. There is an increase of love in you for the people your decision will touch. Even when costs are real and sacrifices concrete, there is no poison of dread laced through them. Your body tells the truth, your shoulders lower, your breath lengthens, your sleep returns in rhythms that do not require sedation. Your imagination grows kinder toward the future rather than violent with what-if rehearsals. You sense not only what you will gain, but what you will give, and the giving feels like worship rather than appeasement. As it is written, you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. Isaiah 55:12. Do not confuse the absence of obstacles with my will, nor the presence of obstacles with my refusal. I have shown you storms that rescue. I also show you paths that require courage. The difference is not the weather. The difference is the witness within. When the path is mine, courage comes laced with quiet. It does not demand spectacle. It can say, not yet, without guilt, or now, without bravado. It does not need to diminish others to justify movement. It can bless those who cannot go with you and still go. In this, you will notice how light works. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. Where my yes shines, shadows flee, and you stop needing to invent narratives to protect your choice. Establish a rhythm with me that guards you from confusion. Ask me for wisdom with your whole heart, then wait for the kind of clarity that remains even when emotions rise and fall. Ask, then wait. Lay the decision before me in silence, and let the heartbeats pass without filling the space with your own arguments. Ask again, then wait again, not because I am slow to love you, but because you are learning to distinguish peace from adrenaline and numbness. Remain long enough to listen more clearly. As it is written, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives generously yet without reproach. James 1:5. And again, in returning and rest you shall be saved. In quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Isaiah 30:15. Invite counsel into this rhythm, not as a jury to replace me, but as witnesses who help you test the echoes. Seek out the steady, the seasoned, the people who are not dazzled by your opportunity and not intimidated by your delay. Let them ask you questions about motive. Is this opportunity feeding your need to escape or your calling to serve? Is your pace born of fear or of faith working through love? Plans without counsel tilt. With many advisors they are strengthened. As it is written, without counsel plans fail, but with many advisors they succeed. Proverbs 15:22. And concerning confirmation, every matter must be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. 2 Corinthians 13:1. Test what you hear against my word. I do not contradict myself. If the path requires you to compromise what I have spoken clearly in Scripture, it is not my yes. If it lures you to neglect what I have entrusted, covenants, integrity, the care of your soul, under the banner of impact, it is not my yes. My spirit will never drag you where my peace cannot keep you. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. Lamps do not need to dazzle to direct. They simply make the next step honest. Practice the small tests of peace. After you sense a yes, set it down for a night and see if it is still there in the morning. Bring it into worship and observe whether singing makes it clearer or thinner. Share it briefly with a trusted voice and see if humility grows or defensiveness spikes. Watch what happens to your prayer. Does it become praise and petition, or does it become spin and negotiation? Peace that rules will stand the turn of the day and the change of light. It will not require you to maintain it with constant explanation. My beloved, I am not measuring you by speed, but by direction. Direction over speed, that is how I keep you free. If my yes comes, it will not crush you into performance. It will call you into obedience. It will not inflate your ego. It will enlarge your heart. It will not fling you into a scramble. It will invite you to walk. Even when the way is new and your competencies feel small, you will notice that gratitude begins to accompany risk. The more you release outcomes to me, the more your courage finds its true source. As it is written, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. So do this now. Place the opportunity in my hands and speak honestly. Father, I do not want to be driven. I want to be led. Ask for wisdom. Wait. Listen for the peace that rules, not the pressure that rushes. Weigh the alignment signs, counsel, confirmation, ordered doors, inner steadiness, prayer simplified. Hold to Scripture. Move when peace remains after the waves of feeling have rolled through and receded. And if peace does not rise, do not force a tide. I am not late. I am leading you. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. I will guide you and I will keep you. My child, keep listening in the quiet where peace begins to rule. And hear me say this plainly. If I have you waiting, I am not wasting you. I am preparing you. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. Do not mistake my measured pace for neglect, nor read patience as indifference. I am not late to your life. I am arranging the inside of you to match the weight of what you have asked me to entrust to you. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. It is love that refuses to hand you a crown before your neck is strong enough to hold it without bowing to lesser gods. You assume delay means you are behind. You watch others move, sign, announce, arrive, and you count your steps as if the scoreboard of heaven were kept by algorithms. But I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. I do not weigh you by output, but by obedience. Waiting, when it is in me, is not the soft drift of delay that I warned you about. It is the stable posture of trust that anchors you while I deepen your roots. Delay whispers, later will do, and lulls you from my voice. Waiting says, here I am, and listens. Delay turns your attention outward to distractions. Waiting gathers your attention inward to my presence. Do you see the difference? One dulls discernment, the other sharpens it. One keeps you busy, the other makes you ready. There are strengths I can only give you in stillness. When the motion pauses, your motives rise into view like silt settling in clear water. In still seasons, I heal ambition where it has swollen beyond love. I purify desire where it has tangled itself around applause. I strengthen character where convenience has softened conviction, and I restore your hearing so that my whisper is again distinguishable from the wind. I address the quiet resentments you have been feeding, the comparisons you scroll like salt upon your wounds, the fantasies that promise relief but exact a price from your integrity. Light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. I bring you into light in waiting so that hidden fractures can be mended before the pressure of a new platform turns a hairline crack into a collapse. As it is written, search me, O God, and know my heart, and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalm 139:23-24. I use waiting to knit your identity into something that pressure cannot unravel. Hear me. You are a son, not a machine. You are my beloved, not a commodity. Your value is not the sum of your invoices, your followers, your promotions, or your title changes. I am not using you. I am forming you. When you sit with me without an outcome to justify your existence, the shackles you do not notice begin to fall. The need to be seen, the habit of performing for love you already have, the reflex to prove what I have already declared over you. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you achieved, I chose you. Return to this, and you will find that obedience becomes freedom rather than a taskmaster's list. As it is written, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. 1 Peter 2:9. Do not despise the quiet work, integrity in the unseen, diligence when no one is applauding, humility when you could hurry, faithfulness in small things when grand things seem to wait on the horizon. These are not obstacles to your calling. They are the road into it. When you keep promises in private, your capacity to carry public trust expands. When you steward your present responsibilities without resentment, your hands learn the weight of stewardship without shaking. When you turn down shortcuts that would get you there faster but cost you a softer conscience, you become the kind of person I can send without losing you to the journey. As it is written, whoever is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. Luke 16:10. And again, do not despise the day of small things. Zechariah 4:10. There is a reason oaks take years while grasses appear overnight. What grows slowly endures weather that would flatten what shoots up in a weekend. I am growing you like an oak, not staging you like a spark. Waiting is the season where roots find water deeper than headlines. where your joy learns to live in me and not in affirmation, where your peace learns to endure the changes of light. In the fire of quiet, impurities surface. In the kiln of time, clay becomes vessel. You ask me for influence, I answer with formation. You ask me for speed, I answer with strength. You ask me for a door, I strengthen your shoulders to carry what waits behind it. As it is written, those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:31. I know what impatience tells you. It says, if you pause, you will be forgotten. If you rest, you will miss your moment. If you do not post, they will pass you by. But I am the keeper of your times. What is for you does not evaporate while you are with me. My child, I have never left you. I am not delaying to tease you. I am defending you from versions of success that would impoverish your soul. I close doors quietly to keep you from a house that is beautiful in the entryway, but hollow at the core. I withhold stages until your compassion is as large as your competence. I slow the process when your zeal outpaces your love. This is not punishment, it is protection. As it is written, no good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. Psalm 84:11. So how do you wait with me? Begin simply. Set a time each day that is not bargaining, not strategy, not content, just presence. Breathe my name. Open the scriptures, not to hunt a promise to hasten your plan, but to let my word read you. Write down the small obediences I whisper and do them with joy. Make the call of reconciliation. Finish the task you have delayed. Bless the person who cannot repay you. Honor your body with rest and order. Turn off the voice that keeps bruising your peace. Work quietly with your hands and aspire to live a life that is not addicted to announcement. As it is written, aspire to live quietly and to mind your own affairs, and to work with your hands so that you may walk properly before outsiders. 1 Thessalonians 4:11-12. And again, let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. Allow me to prune. Pruning feels like loss, but is actually a clearing of space for fruit you have asked me for. Prune your calendar of noise that flatters your sense of importance but starves your soul. Prune your speech of vows you cannot keep. Prune your imagination of narratives that cast you as victim or hero. Let me cast you as a servant who is loved. Prune your appetite for immediate credit. Practice secret acts of faithfulness that no one will thank you for but me. As it is written, every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. John 15:2. In pruning, love is not less, it is more exact. And when the ache rises, the ache of seeing others go ahead, the ache of explaining not yet to those who do not understand, bring the ache to me unedited. Say it as a child says it, Father, this is hard. I do not shame you for longing. I hold longing with you until longing learns to trust. I will send you reminders that I am near, a verse that lands like a hand upon your shoulder, a provision you did not orchestrate, a conversation that answers a question you had not dared to ask aloud. In waiting, I teach you my pace. In waiting, I enlarge your capacity to love. In waiting, I deliver you from the tyrannies within that would have ruled you once you arrived. Do not confuse silence with absence. I am speaking in the language of patience, forming in you what cannot be borrowed at the threshold. When the time comes, the doors I open will not require you to become someone else to walk through them. The peace you have practiced in waiting will accompany you. The character I have woven will hold you. You will recognize my voice because you learned it in the quiet. You will carry rest into rooms that have never seen it. You will be able to bless those who are still waiting because you met me there yourself. As it is written, wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. Therefore, my beloved, do not rush your own becoming. I am not in a hurry with you. I am thorough with you. If I have you waiting, I am not wasting you. I am preparing you. Trust my timing. Keep your hands clean, your heart soft, your steps steady. Walk in the direction of my peace, even when that direction looks, for a while, like staying. In due time, what I have planted will break the soil, and you will see that every quiet day was not an empty hallway but a workshop of grace. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you, and when you rise, you will rise with strength that does not need rush to prove itself, because peace, not pressure, will be your confirmation. As it is written, those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah 40:31. I will guide you, and I will keep you. My child, draw near and listen in the quiet, where your breath slows and your thoughts settle like snow in a still field. For I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. Return with me to the first conversation. Before you had a resume to polish or a ladder to climb, before titles ever sat upon your name, I spoke to your heart. I whispered purpose when no one was watching. I placed a compass within you that pointed toward love and truth. Before anyone taught you how to chase applause, this is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. This is me leading you back to the place where the noise cannot counterfeit my voice. Do you see? Your career is a vessel. Your calling is the substance. Remember with me. Remember the moments when joy surprised you, not because you achieved, but because someone else breathed easier after you served. Remember the ache that rose in you when you watched injustice, that tug that would not let you scroll past without prayer or action. Remember how creating brought you quiet, how building calmed restless rooms, how teaching lit your eyes when understanding broke open for another. Remember the strange courage that visited you when you stepped in to organize chaos, to comfort the anxious, to make beauty where there had been only utility. Remember the steady satisfaction you felt when you repaired what was broken, reconciled what was severed, carried what was heavy for those who were tired. Mercy, leadership, creativity, teaching, building, healing, service. I planted these seeds in you, not as hobbies to pad an interview, but as living streams from the well of who I made you to be. As it is written, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. Your career can hold these streams, channel them, amplify them, sometimes even pay for the time you spend pouring them out. But the career is a cup. The calling is the water. The role is a lampstand. The calling is the flame. The assignment is a door. The calling is the life that passes through it to bless others. When you confuse vessel with substance, you chase cups and forget to drink. You polish lampstands and forget to burn. You crowd doorways and do not enter. I am not against your profession. No, I delight to send you as light into the places where I have stationed you, but I will not let the vessel pretend to be the wine. As it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm 119:105. Let light tell you what is true. Hear me clearly. If the role becomes your God, it will demand sacrifices I never asked for. Your peace, the tenderness of your home, the integrity of your yes and no, the morning hour where we speak, the Sabbath that keeps your soul human, the friendships that train you in love rather than transaction. An idol will always exact payment in secret. It will always say, just one more weekend, just one more compromise, just one more silence where you should have told the truth. It will ask you to hide parts of yourself in darkness so you can remain acceptable in rooms that reward the mask. But light is truthful by nature. It reveals in order to heal. Do not let a title hide you from my gaze. Do not let a platform swallow the person I am forming. No darkness is stronger than truth. As it is written, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and forfeit his soul? Mark 8:36. I bring you here not to strip you of ambition, but to re-aim it under my light. I am not calling you to be impressive. I am calling you to be faithful. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. Obedience is an anchor for you, not a chain. It keeps you from drifting into lives that look successful while quietly starving the substance of your soul. Work, yes, work with excellence, learn skill, keep your word, deliver what you promise, but do it under my gaze and for my name. As it is written, whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men. Colossians 3:23. And again, here is your seal. We are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Ephesians 2:10. Workmanship, formed by my hand with intention, not assembled by pressure with fear. So let us take inventory again, beneath the numbers and the offers. What did I place in you that brings life to others? Is it mercy that meets the broken without flinching, leadership that steadies the hesitant, creativity that sees paths through briars, teaching that turns confusion into courage, building that makes shelter and structure, healing that tends wounds seen and unseen, service that delights to lift another's burden? Who flourishes when you show up? What kind of suffering do you notice first and cannot ignore? What work of love do you return to even when there is no audience and no credit? What fruit has repeated itself across chapters that look different on paper but similar in spirit? These are not accidents, these are fingerprints. As it is written, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. Romans 12:6. And again, as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. 1 Peter 4:10. Return to the first conversation not only by remembering, but by allowing me to name you there. The first conversation included burdens I gave you to carry with me, justice without cynicism, truth without cruelty, beauty without vanity, hospitality without self-erasure, craftsmanship without idolatry, stewardship without greed, intercession without despair. It carried a simple triad that will never expire. Do justice, love mercy, walk humbly with your God. As it is written, he has told you, O man, what is good, to do justice and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8. Your calling is to walk with me into those good works. Your career is one of the roads where we will walk. Now lift the decision you are weighing into this light. Ask, does this role magnify the calling or muffle it? Does it enlarge love in you for the people I am sending you to serve? Or does it lure you into a mirror where you cannot stop checking your reflection? Will it protect the sacred places of our conversation, or will it require you to trade them for a lesser crown? Will it demand sacrifices that obedience would never command, or will it invite sacrifices that look like love? Like time given, pride laid down, comfort surrendered for another's good. Peace will not bully you here, it will witness. If this opportunity is a vessel fitted for the substance I have placed in you, you will sense room to breathe, room to be true, room to keep covenant. If it is not, you will feel stretched into a shape that requires concealment to sustain. The light will make this plain because I am not the author of confusion. Do not fear if the cup changes, fear only if the water runs thin. Seasons will reassign you, assignments will begin and end, roles will grow and shrink, places will open and close, but the through line remains. You are mine, and I send you as a bearer of my life wherever I station you. I have not changed my mind about the good works I prepared for you to walk in. I am the keeper of your times. If I close a door, I am not closing your calling. I am guarding its integrity until the vessel matches the substance. If I open a door, I am not crowning your ego. I am advancing love through you. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. So come back to the first conversation and let it read your choices. Lay your titles at my feet and let me call your name. Seek first the kingdom and the rightness of walking with me, and the other things will find their place without enslaving you. As it is written, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. Your career is a vessel. Your calling is the substance. Keep the substance pure, and the vessel, whatever its shape and season, will carry life. Walk with me in this, and you will not be driven by pressure. You will be led by peace. I have never left you. I am here separating the cup from the wine, so that when you pour, what others taste is me. My child, now we come to the small gate that opens the way without forcing it. I want you to receive this in the stillness within your own heart. You do not have to decide in haste. Discern in stillness and obey what I show you. Begin with one sentence. It is enough to open the door of your will and let my peace enter. Speak it as you are, here and now. Lord, I need you. Lead me and make me willing to obey. That is not eloquence, that is surrender. That is not performance. That is permission for me to be who I am in your choosing. This is not condemnation, nor is it abandonment. I do not speak to instill fear in you, but that you may live. Today, before you reach for signatures or reassure your anxiety with a flurry of calls and clicks, set aside a small window that belongs to me. In the next 24 to 72 hours, do this. No impulsive signing just to silence the pressure. No fear scrolling for voices to drown your unease. No panic calls to gather a crowd that will tell you what you have already decided to do. Create quiet on purpose. Choose a time. Put your device in another room. Bring a pen, a page, and your breathing. Sit. Whisper the one sentence, Lord, I need you. Lead me and make me willing to obey. Then listen. Let the first wave of hurry wash past without answering it. Let the second wave of excuses pass without surfacing. Wait long enough for truth to surface like a patient fish in clear water. Remain long enough to listen more clearly. As it is written, today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Hebrews 3:15. I will meet you in that quiet. I will not shout. I do not come to you with thunder, to batter you into compliance. I reach you like the first light of dawn, clear enough to see by, gentle enough that your heart does not tense to brace against me. In that light, write without editing and answer 3 questions before me. Do not justify. Tell the truth as it stands today. First, what am I afraid will happen if I wait? Name the fear plainly. Is it the fear of being forgotten, of losing face, of missing the only opportunity you trust? Bring the fear into light. No darkness is stronger than truth. Second, what part of me is craving this? Is it the holy desire to serve and to steward your gifts? Or is it the ache to escape, to prove, to be seen? Let me separate what is of love from what is of hunger masquerading as purpose. Third, where do I feel peace when I imagine staying versus leaving? Close your eyes and picture each path for a moment, not its applause, but its daily weight. Notice your breath, your shoulders, the tone of your inner voice. Peace will not bully you, pressure will. Record what you notice. Do not debate it, receive it. After you write, do not rush to interpret alone. Thank me for what surfaced. Ask me simply, Father, confirm what is from you and quiet what is not. Then close the page and go about your day without feeding the whirlwind. No new research tonight to fuel the panic. No replaying of arguments to harden your heart. Light a small lamp and rest. Sleep becomes an altar when you refuse to keep your own soul awake with fretful management. In the morning, return to the page. Read what you wrote slowly. Ask again, lead me and make me willing to obey. If the same witness of peace rises where it rose yesterday, honor it. If the same check in your spirit remains where it remained yesterday, honor that too. Let peace rule, not adrenaline. Let restraint protect, not fear. Invite one wise voice into this rhythm. Not a crowd, not a committee. Choose someone who knows me and knows you, who will not be dazzled by your opportunity or frightened by your restraint. Share briefly what surfaced. Ask for prayer, not for permission to disobey your own conscience. Then return to stillness. Remember, I am not measuring you by speed, but by direction. Slow obedience today is better than frantic success tomorrow. Direction over speed, that is how I keep you free. In these next days, practice 2 small obediences that make room for clarity. First, fast from urgency in your calendar. If there is a meeting whose only purpose is to force a decision you have not yet received peace for, move it back with humility and honesty. I am discerning. I will return with clarity. Humility is not weakness, it is alignment. Second, bless the place you are in. Do the next right thing where your feet stand. Finish the assignment. Return the call with kindness. Tidy the corner you have avoided. Say thank you where you have been silent. Obedience in the present strengthens discernment for the future. As it is written, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Stillness is not inactivity. It is clear-souled action under my rule. Hear me again. I am not condemning you. I am awakening you. I intervene early so that you are not carried too far away. Delay as drift whispers, later will do. Discipline as mercy says, pause now that you may live. If today you feel the gentle pressure of my hand on your shoulder, do not shake it off with busyness. If today you sense the quiet closing of a door that flattered your urgency, do not pound upon it until your knuckles bleed. I am keeping you. I am preserving the calling beneath the career. I open doors no one can shut, and I shut doors no one can force back open without harm. Trust me. So take this small next step. Do not decide today, discern today. Speak the sentence. Keep a quiet window. Write the 3 answers. Refuse the whirlpool of panic. Invite one steady witness. Sleep. Return. Watch how peace rises or rests. When I speak, you will not need to be a bully to your own soul to obey. My yes will carry clarity without crushing you. My no will protect you without humiliating you. And when the time to move arrives, you will find that the path before you is not a test to pass in terror, but a way to walk with me. As it is written, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Psalm 32:8. I will guide you and I will keep you. My child, receive this now as a seal upon what we have walked together. I have never left you, not for a single moment. In the nights when your thoughts ran ahead and your chest tightened under clocks, you did not set. I was there, keeping your breath steady, guarding the edges where fear tried to spill over. Even now I am ordering your steps with loving precision, quietly removing what would burden you, quietly adding what you will soon need. I am not improvising your life. I am faithful to complete what I began in you. As it is written, the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. Do you see? I delight in your way because I am in your way, and I will not let you be stolen by hurry. Hear my assurance and let it rest upon you like a hand that steadies. You will not miss what is mine for you. What I appoint will remain. What is not from me will fade without stealing your future. I am the keeper of your times. I am the one who shuts a door to preserve you and opens a door to advance love through you. No scheme will pry from you what I have set aside for your good, and no pressure will force upon you what I have not written. As it is written, what he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. Revelation 3:7. Your future is not fragile in my hands. Therefore receive this commissioning with calm courage. Go from this moment not with the tremble of one who fears being late, but with the poise of one who is led. Walk slowly enough to hear me, boldly enough to obey me, humbly enough to be corrected by me. You are sent, not scattered. You are guided, not driven. I do not measure you by speed, but by direction. Let this be your rhythm made simple and true. Stop, listen, remain, then move, not with fear, but with clarity. Stop when pressure roars and options multiply, so your soul does not sign a contract your spirit cannot carry. Listen, until my peace, not the applause of urgency, stands witness within you. Remain long enough for motives to settle and truth to rise. Then move when the same peace returns like a faithful tide, confirming without crushing you. As it is written, your ears shall hear a word behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. I bless your going and your staying. I bless your questions with the company of wisdom and your decisions with the counsel of peace. I bless your hands to be faithful in what is before you and your feet, to refuse paths that require you to become someone else to keep them. I bless your nights with rest that is not a bargain, but a gift, and your mornings with fresh light that does not accuse you for yesterday's fog. I bless your relationships to be places of strengthening, where correction is safe because love is sure. I bless your work to serve, not to enslave, to build people, not merely platforms. As it is written, the Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. Psalm 121:8. Do not look back in torment. Learn what light reveals, then turn forward with me. Do not look ahead in panic. Receive what I give today, and you will always have enough to take the next right step. I am your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? As it is written, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. My light will meet you on the path, not with a floodlight that forces a run, but with a lamp that keeps pace with your obedience. My peace will guard you, not as a thin feeling that flees at noise, but as a garrison around your heart and mind in Christ. As it is written, the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. Trust me in your planning, and I will straighten what wins without warning. Lay your understanding down without despising your mind. Use your mind under my rule. As it is written, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding, and he will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. And again let this promise be near your lips. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. You are known, and you will not be left to guess your way through fog without companionship. I am with you, and I am keeping you. If this word has steadied you, remain connected so that courage does not evaporate when the week grows loud. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell, not as a superstition, but as a small way of choosing reminders of peace over engines of pressure. Share this with the one you love, who stands at a threshold with a tired heart. Stay near the sound of truth so that delay does not lull you and urgency does not rule you. Now receive my blessing as your covering and your call. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Numbers 6:24-26. And receive this keeping as promise and provision. Now to him who is able to keep you from stumbling and to present you blameless with great joy. Jude 24. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. I will not only show you the way, I will keep you as you walk it. My light will meet you. My peace will guard you. Go in clarity. Go in rest. Go in love. Amen.